everybody, and welcome to I Got This with Lex and MGP. I am Lex, and I've been a personal trainer over the last 5 years. Martha has been my client for 3 years, and over that time, she has lost over 50 pounds and changed her entire perspective on life. Join us each week as we dive into health, mindset, and everything in between. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to I Got This with Lex and MGP.
All right, so we get this question a lot. Everyone's heard about my journey in the first, few episodes and why, what inspired me to get started or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I've heard from quite a lot of people, what made Lex want to be a personal trainer or get involved in all of this? So I'm going to toss that question to you, and you can let the people know.
Cool, I like it. Well, this is actually my favorite because I'm so passionate about it. I think a lot of trainers are. They wouldn't do it if they weren't. But the reason I became a personal trainer, so I went to Michigan State for kinesiology. If you don't know what that is movements of the body. After switching majors multiple times, I was a business major, a comm major for a while. I was like, nah, we're going to go this. But the reason I did that was because I wanted to be a nurse. So I worked at like a nursing home near Michigan State for a while. I was a nurse's aide. I did, that CNA class, first aid class, all that good stuff. I took a bunch of prereqs for nursing, just because I want to help people. I think that's why most people go into that type of thing, is they want to help people, right?
I could totally see you being a nurse.
Could you?
Yeah, running around in your little scrubs.
I was a good nurse's aide for sure. The older
but anyway,
people
I'm glad
me.
You're not though.
Yeah, I know, me too. Definitely, if I was doing that, wing a little bit too much. Oh, this looks like the right amount of meds. Let's try this.
Yeah, you could use your trainer counting for that.
Yes, not good. So I ended up in the right spot. But I actually applied to nursing school to 2 different colleges, maybe 3, for a BSN, bachelor's degree in nursing. So after I got my undergrad, I could do that. The funny thing is, they had all these like prereqs when you apply. Mm-hmm. I was like missing multiple prereqs. And I was like, oh, maybe like I'll get in anyways. I was like, oh, I think I'm missing this class, but like literally whatever. So of course I'm not going to get in. But clearly I really didn't want to be a nurse that bad. I just thought that was something I was like supposed to do. Mm-hmm. At that time in my life, I was like, this is just what I am supposed to do. Okay, now I'm going to be a nurse, right? Like that's just what everybody does.
I need a job, or whatever.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. So, my whole life has been, okay, in high school, do your sports, be on honor roll, do what you're supposed to do. In college, join a sorority, date a cute boy, do what you're supposed to do, right? And so that was like just like I was doing for a long time what I was supposed to do. And I think this was the first time in my life where after college, like during that time is really the last few months where I didn't get in, and I wasn't even really upset. I was like, no shit, I didn't get in. I didn't have the prereqs. So that was interesting. And then the one thing that I thought, I was like, I just want to try being a trainer. And I said to somebody at the time, I remember this statement. I was like, I just think I want to do that at least for a little while, because I'll regret if I don't become a personal trainer for a little while. I just want to like see if I'm good at it. On that note, at the time, being a personal trainer was the path less traveled, right? A lot of people were like, go get a job, be interviewed, and go into the corporate life. Being an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur or doing something like as a 1099 was very not normal after coming out of like a college at the time. That's what none of my friends were doing, which is more common now. But I feel like going the path less traveled is a topic like well as well.
Mm-hmm. I changed careers. After college, I went into business.
Yeah.
And I was a buyer for Marshall Field's, which became Dayton Hudson, which is now Macy's.
Wait, what was your first, what did you study first at Michigan State?
Business. And so that's why I was a buyer.
Yeah.
But I had originally wanted to be an engineer, so I had all the math courses already.
Yeah.
So that was easy for me to switch later on. But yeah, so I was a buyer and, very corporate, very retail oriented. Mm-hmm. I worked at a corporate office, Ladies, if you bought lingerie in the 90s, I probably picked it out. If you shopped at Marshall Fields or Dayton Hudson.
Isn't that crazy?
So the Santa Bear from the early 90s, I actually designed with my team. So just
I don't know what that is. The Santa Bear?
Santa Bears. Oh, some of our older people out there will know what a Santa Bear is. It used to be the big thing at Hudson's back when it was still Hudson's.
Okay.
If you're from Michigan. But anyway, so yes, and once we were living in Chicago, once we were transferred back here with my husband's job, I decided it was time for a career change. And we were starting a family and, being a buyer and having to travel a lot. And, he's also a buyer in the automotive industry and was traveling a lot. And, it's not like he could be in Korea and I could be in New York and we could have small children at home. So,
no.
So we had to make, a decision there. And I'd always really been drawn to the idea of being a teacher.
Yeah.
But I just thought, it seems so cliche when I was in college. I just wanted to try something else. And honestly, I think it makes me a better teacher now that I didn't just go right from college back into high school in essence.
Yeah.
So I have that real world
And that's the thing. That is also the path less traveled. Because, at what age did you switch from?
I was in my 30s.
That's crazy. And you had to go back to school, right?
Yes. Well, I had to get a teaching certificate.
Yeah.
Right. And then a master's degree. So I have a master's degree in education now.
And you did all that with little kids.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. I was actually 9 months pregnant with our second one, taking a math final.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To get for
oh
that.
my God.
So, right. And I student taught in my 30s as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think even when you talk about that, you don't realize how big of a deal that is and how not common that is. A lot of people change careers, but not in a way that you have to go back to school. Or I do think it's becoming more common now. But I feel like that is making a really hard decision. And failing, I feel like you were pretty passionate about it because you love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I literally changed professions. It wasn't even like I changed jobs.
Exactly.
It was professions.
Exactly.
So, yes, and I do believe that this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I do believe, though, also it makes me a stronger teacher having spent some time out in the quote-unquote real world.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I bring a lot of that in, and I teach an AP statistics course where a lot of what I used to use in the business world is, applicable in that course. So,
I love that because in high school I would ask, how the heck am I going to use this? So you have that solid real world, especially with math. I hated math, but you have that. I did. I really did. But I would like it if I had you as a teacher,
right.
that's for sure. Because, that's what makes people what they're good at.
Yeah, well, the kids will ask me all the time, if I'm teaching an Algebra 2 class, what job do I need logarithms for?
you can
No, and I
that.
say math teacher.
Yeah. That's the only one.
But statistics, no, there is a lot of, any kind of research. I'm sure you had to read statistical reports in your job.
Oh, so, absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Actually, personal training is very science. It is.
You're gathering data constantly.
On the amount of articles I have to look up on a daily basis, well, this is the right way, but this is also another good way to do it. But which one's actually scientifically, all those different things.
Yeah, even when we assess, that's data collection, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And so I like that that's, you've understood the path less traveled as well. And I think that's, at any age of your life, that is the leap and the bound that it takes to do that is, it's kind of, I don't think it gets enough credit, right? For instance, when all your friends, I think another thing at that time in my life, a lot of my friends were going home, finding a job or finding a corporate job. And then my first year of personal training too was all my friends were 4 of them were down in Miami partying. Sure. And then I would take a few weekends out of the year to go see them, and then all of them were still going out every single weekend, just we all do that at our early 20s. But the other part of the path less traveled was saying no to all of that. And I had FOMO. I had it hard.
Oh yeah.
That's something that not until more recently I got over of I just really don't want to drink or go out and stay out till 5 a.m. Because I actually want to do my job the next day and do it well, right? And I think that's another part of the path less traveled that actually really doesn't get enough credit. It really doesn't. Doing the hard thing,
Absolutely. We actually had our kids pretty young because my husband and I got married pretty young. And at that time, same thing. A lot of our friends were still single and they were going to bar nights, and we're home with, a screaming 6-month-old. And so, so same. The whole
you had
thing.
your kids when at my age currently,
right? Yes,
which is completely mind-blowing to me. I'm like, what? You were a baby.
I was a baby when I think about it now. But, but joke's on my friends now, because now they have like middle schoolers and my kids are graduated.
Don't say that, because I'll be having kids when your friends had their kids at that age. But yeah.
No, but I mean, it is kind of nice now. I mean, we love our kids and we spend a lot of time with them, but they're fun to be around and they're young adults now.
Exactly. So that time. Path less traveled is, I think it really doesn't get enough credit at all. Mm-hmm. And people don't really realize how difficult that is at certain times of your life when everybody's like, come out. It's like, yeah, no, like I want to, and I will go out and like not drink, or I will go out and like, but I definitely set my boundaries, mm-hmm. and so do you, mm-hmm. for your health purposes. And
that peer pressure doesn't stop just because you're not in your 20s anymore.
I know. I know all the time. And a lot of it, too, is like sometimes I just want to hustle. Sometimes I just want to work. And a lot of people don't realize that, too. Mm-hmm. Like when you're in that very different phases, like you won't see me for like a few months out of the year, because I am like working really hard at a lot of different, like either a program or like working on getting, certain things out. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing, that it's not just with health, but also with like, your mindset at the time. People are like, oh, you work too much. It's like, well, it's really my decision. It's not like anybody's forcing me to go in. I just like actually want to work on myself, mm-hmm. right? That's another path less traveled that doesn't get enough credit, and a lot of people don't really understand. The reason I truly am a trainer is because of the gym that I'm at and the people that I'm around. And they really opened my eyes, not just to like health and fitness, but becoming a better person and living outside of the realms of doing what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And like, this truly actually makes me want to cry because like the people that I met, the mentors that have guided me over the last few years, 5 years right now, coming up on like 6, of saying, okay, yes, like you need to educate yourself, but you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You don't have to do the norm of what everybody's doing. And I found that earlier on, that to become an entrepreneur before being an entrepreneur was cool. Mm-hmm. Like within the last few years, becoming an entrepreneur is like the coolest thing ever. Like I found like, oh, this is like really, really hard work, and it feels good to work on yourself, and it feels good to do hard things, and it feels good to help people and learn how to have those hard conversations and learn how to talk to people. And that's the other thing, is like being a trainer is not just, okay, this is what you should do. Here's how I'll help you. No, it's like understanding people. That's mm-hmm. what, I mean, any business is, but that's personal training. If you want anybody to get results, you have to put yourself in their shoes, see where they are, and help them. So, and the people that made me think that way, I have to shout them out, was Mark Dufresne, who is like the founder. He's the founder of Burn Fitness, and Reva Kehoe, now Kehoe. She was the head trainer at the time, and both those two people are the like so unbelievably impactful to who I am now. Those are the people who made me think, why don't you think of yourself as a professional? Especially Mark. He looked at me. I remember him looking at me many times like, stop being the party girl and be the professional. Stop trying to be everybody's friend. Be the professional. And giving him these mantras and how to get through these different things in my life. Like, these people were so influential to help me be the trainer that I currently am. And take these leaps like podcasting, group training, encouraging me to do these difficult things, and not just to do them half-assed, but to do them properly. And if you're going to do them properly, right? Mm-hmm. I do believe that the people that you choose to mentor you are so important. And the fact that these two people fell into my life is unbelievable. And even as I see Reva less now, because she's a mama, mm-hmm. and I see I still work with Mark as much as I can. He's very busy, but they impact my life every single day. And I think shouting out those people that have guided you to where you are and becoming the person you're proud of is so, so, so important as well. Yeah, so I think that's another big reason that I've stuck with it, truly. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to quit every now and then, but they are a big reason I've stuck with it and not plateaued, but continue to grow.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you're the one that told me, and I think it was probably Mark that told you, that how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes, absolutely. That is not something that comes from me. Everything affects everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why we give everything our all when we do it, right?
Exactly. And the other, it's true too, because I've seen a lot of people plateau too. And unless you have people like being harsh on you and keeping you accountable to a standard, like you pay me to do that. But either way, even if you didn't, I'd still tell you, hey, we got to step up here. Or you call me out and be like, hey, Lex, like I need more from you in this way. But not everybody does that.
Right.
You don't, like, a lot of people have yes men in their circle. Like, yeah, you're doing great. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the fact that I've stuck closer to the people who are not my yes men. I've stuck closer to them than anybody.
Yeah.
And I've stuck closer to you for that reason, I think. Truly.
Well, I think we both challenge each other at times.
Absolutely.
Which is great.
I think it's unbelievably healthy, and I think a lot of people choose to not be around people like that.
Well, people don't like to be criticized, so to speak. And I don't take it as criticism.
Yeah.
It's more of a challenge.
Exactly. And sometimes you do get frustrated. Sometimes you're saying, hey, what you're saying, I just don't like hearing it, or I disagree with what you're saying, or it just doesn't make me feel good. But 90% of the time, if you're around somebody who has the best interest at heart for you, which there are people out there that have somebody else's best interest, I mean, like 90% of the time, if they've been around you for years, they're probably right. So that's the other thing, is like hearing things you don't want to hear, but being told them is sometimes something that can change your life for the good.
I mean, it's exactly what you need sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
There have been many times where I don't know what to say, had words. I mean, we were fighting, but we've told each other some hard truths.
Yeah.
And not liked it.
Yeah.
And then, within a day, we're like, okay, you were right.
And I think how we handle it too, I got that from them. How we handled it. Like more recently, what was that one day? You came in. I had been. It was about results, really. And
a couple months ago, yes.
Yeah, that was actually a great day at the end of the day. But we talked it out, and I always bring those things up in the beginning of a session, which I don't know if they taught me that or what, but because like I brought it up in the beginning of the session so that like we could hash it out, and you could see either my way of thinking or I could see your way of thinking, and then at the end we'd come out with a stronger relationship, which we can talk more about hard conversations, and I hope we have the chance to. But yeah, so yeah, shout out to Mark and Reva. Yeah, I got into this because I wanted to help people. I stayed here because of the team I'm around, and I love them more than anything. Like, if I could work nowhere else in the world for the rest of my life, I would not, because I love them all so dearly, and they make me truly better. And also because I have not stopped growing and learning. So, yeah, that's why I'm a trainer. I've loved every part of helping people, every part of that.
Now, did you know what being a trainer was going to entail? Like I thought when I hired a trainer, it was going to be like, you're just going to show me how to lift some weights.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You thought you were just going to show up some people like, this is how you do a deadlift or whatever.
I actually I interned at a gym at Michigan State prior to starting being a personal trainer, and that was a very unrealistic view to me of what I thought training was. It was truly, and I was an intern, so I wasn't doing all the nitty-gritty stuff, but it truly was wake up at 4 a.m., get to the gym at 5, and put them through the workout that's pre-written. And that is also what a lot of gyms do, right? Sure. If you go to a workout class, like that is what you do. You go in and put them through the workout, and that's an idea of a trainer to a lot of people. Not necessarily what I do, but yeah, that's what I did think it was.
For sure.
Yeah, but it's not what I do.
No, it's not at all what you do. I'm not going to test as one of your clients.
Yeah,
that is not at all what you do.
Exactly.
I mean, you do put me through workouts.
Yes, but that's also because the company that I work with, right, our program is way more detailed. It's focusing
There's
on
more
food.
the personal in there.
Yes, it is very, very, very personal, right? Yeah, and our company goes by standards and guidelines. Like, you're going to get a trainer. You're going to get, like, a good trainer. You're not going to get, okay, this guy looks cool for you. You know, like, this person works out. You work out with this person, right?
Right.
So, yeah. And I'm sure there are companies out there that do the exact same thing, and there are great trainers everywhere you go to. So
For sure.
Yeah.
But no, it is interesting to see that whole, and honestly, since we've been together for 3 years, right? Even I've noticed your growth
Thank you.
as a trainer.
Yeah.
You know, not only my own growth, but your growth as well. And we've talked about that too.
Yeah.
Even your maturity or how we've evolved with our relationship.
Yeah.
And what we've been able to accomplish together.
Yes.
So.
I think early on I was this is any young person.
In any job.
In any job, yeah. Like I did want to be the Instagram model. I did want to be the person, oh, look what I can do. That is not what this job is about. This is about what you can do, how I can help you, how I can serve you, how I can make you better. And I think it was a mindset shift over years of, again, somebody coaching me, not me doing it all on my own, like somebody helping me saying, why don't you look at yourself more as a professional? Why don't you think of yourself as the greatest group trainer there could ever be? I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying, would that be something I would like to be? Absolutely. Envision yourself as a professional. Envision yourself as somebody who helps and aids other people. And that, by like taking on that mindset after years, has helped me become more of a professional. But yeah, it's maturing in any.
Absolutely. I mean, I think even about, I'm a teacher, and I think back to my first group of students, and I'm like, oh, sorry, kid.
Oh, God.
Because I know I'm a much better teacher now. It's just life experience, right?
It's so funny, too. So I started so I worked at one facility, right, one gym, moved to another after 6 months of training. And then I was...
Same gym, but different location.
Same gym, different location. And then after multiple years, like 3 or 4 years, the majority of my time at that second location, that's where I evolved. I became who I am.
That's where we met.
Where we met, yes, exactly. And then, life happened and I moved back to the first location. So,
and she made me follow her.
Yes, here you are with me, right? Same company again. And it's funny because I come back and I see these people who I used to train. There are a lot of people that still go to this gym that I used to work with. And
when you were a new trainer.
Yes, when I was a new trainer. And it's so funny. I actually took one of my clients. He was a younger guy. I think he's the same age as me, if not a few, 2 years younger. And he was saying things to me like, come on, you've worked with me. You remember this stuff. And I was like, oh, to me, it feels like so long ago. And I was like trying to envision what we had talked about at those times. And I was trying to be those people's friends and not their coach.
Right.
And now coming back and being like, oh no, I'm a professional now is a funny... It's a weird transition, kind of, coming back as a different, not saying I'm a completely different person, but I'm a different...
You are different.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Thank you. But at that time, I was more focused on being their friend. And
you wanted everyone to like you.
That was it.
Now she doesn't care. She's like, do the burpees, I don't care.
Yes. I'm
like me, hate me, I don't care.
Yeah. And it's demanding. Now I demand respect. I'm like if you guys sass off, I'm like, to an extent, I guess.
She might have made me do 65 burpees last week. Just saying.
Were you being sassy that day?
I think it was my husband, and somehow I got punished for being there.
I don't feel bad. Sometimes I just need to prove a point, okay? Who's in charge?
I'm pretty sure I married for better or worse, not for burpees.
This is a good one. I had a young girl come in. She is one of my favorite. She's so funny. I love all my clients, so it's hard to say this, but she is so funny. She's 16 or 17, and she's in a small group, and everybody else is just a little bit older. I have a 22-year-old, and then somebody who's 28, 29. And she came in, and she goes, listen here, Lex.
Uh-oh, she threw up the Lex.
I know, and I looked at her, and the other two, there were people who had been training with me for years, and they were like, no, you did not say that to Alexis. And I look at her, and I'm like, listen here, her name. That was pretty funny because I was like, don't you dare, what? And I said, you talk to your mom like that? And she's like, well, yeah, I do. And I was like, no, you don't. So that was funny. I was thinking about how one point I was wanted to be hey girl, hey girlfriend, that's funny. Yeah, but no, now I'm like, don't you talk to me like that. I'm your trainer. And it's also just I train a lot of people my age, so defining that line of I'm your coach, not your friend can be tricky too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're really good at establishing relationships with people and communicating with them. Yeah. But yes, I could see how that line could get blurred.
Yes, yeah.
So it's got to be tricky.
It was definitely fun early on too, thinking about all those people who I was just trying to be friends with. Not in like I just want to be friends with you, of like having a hard time of saying like, oh, I'm going to give you this advice. And then they'll say to me, well, I'm like, I know you don't do that. And when you don't have that line of, no, I'm your coach.
Yeah.
And it's funny too. Like,
what's your credibility?
Yeah, exactly. It's my credibility too. The other funny thing is people will ask me to train them. Like my future sister-in-law, my brother's fiance, was like, oh, like, will you train me? It was when he first started dating her.
Sure.
And I was like, didn't know how to say it nicely, but I was like, oh no, like I don't train people I know. You know me too well. So no, I'm not going to train you.
That would be, that'd be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to tell somebody, hey, you can't eat that. Or
well, then you're at the family party and they're, eating a big piece of cake.
Yeah.
And you're looking at
excuse you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there would be that.
Yeah. So that's why I'm here, and that's where I see myself, is to continue to do what I do and help others, and make them truly just make others the best version of themselves, while I make myself the best version of myself.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you're a personal trainer.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for the questions.
So, all right. Well, that is just a quick episode this week, but thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. I got this.
I got this.
Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed what you heard, please go to wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star rating. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at I Got This Pod. See you next week. And remember, I got this.